Two little boys carried a scarecrow up to the overpass and then pushed it down without hesitation. The bus driver thought it was a real person and quickly turned to avoid it, causing the bus to overturn. Dozens of cars behind couldn't slow down in time and crashed into each other in an uncontrollable chain reaction. In less than a minute, it caused over 100 casualties. Jimmy was terrified by this scene, but his cousin Henry smiled sinisterly, seeming to really enjoy the excitement this car accident brought. Soon, the police arrived at the scene. Henry took Jimmy and hid in the tunnel under the highway. Jimmy felt very guilty and wanted to report Henry's behavior to his aunt, but Henry remained calm and even threatened Jimmy, saying, "You're also an accomplice? This matter has everything to do with you." Jimmy felt very helpless because at the time he was also tricked by Henry into helping carry the scarecrow. However, for Henry, who was naturally bad, he was also very cruel to his family. His sister just accidentally entered his room and he grabbed her by the ear, ready to beat her up. Fortunately, Jimmy arrived in time and saved the girl. From that moment on, Jimmy stayed by his cousin's side at all times, afraid that Henry would do something bad to her again. Even when sleeping at night, Jimmy would sleep on the floor in his cousin's room, not daring to leave her side for even a moment. But when he woke up this morning, he found his cousin was no longer in bed. He learned from his aunt that Henry had taken his cousin to the ice rink. Jimmy became very worried after hearing this and frantically rushed toward the ice rink. At this time, Henry also had murderous intentions toward his own sister. While skating, he deliberately pushed his sister to a dangerous area where the ice was extremely thin. The girl had just stood up when the ice cracked, and the girl instantly fell into the cold lake. Since he was closest, Henry pretended to crawl over to save his sister. The girl struggled to surface, but every time she was about to grab Henry's hand, Henry deliberately avoided her. Soon the girl sank into the lake again and was swept by the current under thicker ice. Fortunately, the rescue team arrived in time. After locating the girl's position, they quickly picked up sharp axes and smashed a hole in the ice surface, finally rescuing the little girl with difficulty. After 3 hours of emergency treatment at the hospital, the girl finally woke up. Only Jimmy knew that all of this was Henry's doing. At this moment, he could no longer tolerate it and reported all of Henry's crimes to his aunt. But how could his aunt possibly believe such words? About a biological son wanting to kill his biological daughter? What happened next would make his aunt regret it for life.